Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to another full moon. And it's time for some observation. It's already into August, and our New Year resolutions are either full on, they're forgotten, or they're bits and pieces. So, from a point of observation, I like to step away from my projects, from myself, from my mind, essentially, and observe. We put a split there. We call that split the gap. And from that space, we can observe our thoughts, our actions, our future, our past, our present moment, which is really critical at this point in time because already 7 months, 7 complete months have passed on the new year. So here it is, the full moon in August, really bright last night, but I didn't want to do another one in the dark. So I'm inviting you to continue. If you haven't started, I'm inviting you to step up and step out and make this year your best year yet. And it's never too late. You can start. Even if all 7 months have passed or 6 months, you started out at New Year, all full on, and boom, it went into nothing. Step back, look at your list, rewrite your list. Maybe some things have changed, but get that observation in place and analyze where you are, who you are, what you're doing, where you want to go, how you want to get there. And when you get there, will you know it? Will you appreciate it? Will you know what your goals are? Are they consistent? Do you need to build habits that stick with you every day? I know one time, way back in the 90s, I had a backache. I got out of a Camaro Z28, and that's what I used as my sales car. I rented a Z28, and I drove up and down the Oregon coast into Washington State. I had an office on Pier 70 in Seattle. And I used the bank, the Puget Sound Bank, and I never forget. I got out of that car one morning, and I was eating pretty much 3 donuts a day and coffee. And this was in the early spring, and I went to cash a check, and I got out of that car, deposited a check, and from my sales, and I got out of that car, my back locked, and I never felt such pain in my life, and it was like vivid, very vivid. And I said, I don't know how to handle this, but I got through it, and I got up straight, and I got back in my car, and I said, wow, I got to make some changes. This is before Google, this is before all the YouTube training, before anything. And I had to go figure out, how am I going to fix this? And what I learned was, in my back, physically, as long as the muscles in my back were mushy and weak, my back would slip and bend and twist, and it wouldn't be strong, and it would not support me. So therefore, it was in danger at all times if I didn't take care of it. So I went and I found out, what do I need to do? I started doing sit-ups, push-ups, and then the spring came, and then the fruits showed up on the coast, and I kept on driving down to Northern California from Oregon. And on the way back in the fall, the early fall and the late summer, all these fruits. And I stopped, of course, I stopped the donuts, I stopped all the crap food. And because when you get tired, you want to eat sweet stuff. So what's wrong with a box of strawberries? So the back of my car was filled with corn silk. I was eating raw corn, apples, filberts, and all kinds of nuts and berries and everything, all fresh. I got so healthy, I got so strong, and I built this habit that today, many years later, I continue on the pathway. I still exercise every week. I try to do it every day, but I know I don't have to. Sometimes I work really hard, and I don't need to exercise for 3 days. hard, or for any length of time. I need to move, maybe ride my bike for 3 miles instead of 15 or 10, and instead of doing all the pumps uphill and all that stuff. Just get in a habit. Get in a habit. Whether that's taking action on a project, whatever the project might be. It might be health, it might be wealth, it might be mental acuity and vision, and sitting back and observe. Take time in the day, every morning now, and I've been practicing this for many years, but finally, I mean, it's more of a habit, and I've been doing this for many years. Wake up in the morning and do a deep breathing, and clean my lungs out rather than grab for a cigarette like I used to, cough, choke. So we can change. We can change anything. So I invite you to really, wherever you are, stop. Take time. Take quiet time. Quiet time is critical because we go deep within ourselves and find out who we are and shut off the noise, the news, all the garbage that doesn't truly apply to you in the moment. And find out, make that list, reinvent or rewrite or redo or revisit the list that you have, or the one that you're using every day. Sit back, observe, and I mean, much like an airplane or a ship on the ocean, you're trying to get to a port, a destination, and you have to make changes. But if we don't observe where we are, then we can't make the proper changes to get to where we want to go. So use the power of the full moon. I saw in my little town here of Manchester by the Sea, I saw that the tide was extremely low. And that makes it nice to get sea vegetables. Organic, full of nutrients, free. Run out in the woods, get some beach peas and rose hips on the side of the road, all free, all loaded with nutrition. And we don't need to poison ourselves. So that's another place to look at. Take care of your health, build your wealth, and on this full moon, step up and step out and make your life the sculpture that it's meant to be. So enjoy the day, sit back, observe yourself, observe your life, observe others that can inspire you. Slow down, take time. If your head's spinning because the world's in a mad place, it's been in a mad place many times before. So we can get through it. We can help it. We need to assist. We're being called. And if you don't take any positive, affirmative action in your life, you can't do it in anyone else's life. You cannot affect anyone else's life or the whole pathway that we're all on as a world community. So I invite you, use the power of the moon, use the high energy, the magnetism, and pay attention from quarter to quarter. They're all built for different purposes. They have the energy to assist you to do what you need to do. Use the power of the full moon right now, the next 7 days, for whatever you are working on, whatever actions that you want to manifest and put into place and put into action right now. Whatever it is the best time in the next 7 days. Then what isn't working, you clean it up in the last quarter of the moon phase. And then the new moon phase, you adjust and observe again and fix some things and focus on things that you want for the next 2 quarters up to the next full moon. And it's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to us to do it and make it happen on this full moon. Enjoy the journey. This is Peter Starr saying, step up, step out, and make your life the sculpture it really must be.